Hey guys, my name is Aniket. Welcome back to Dragon Frost. In this episode, in this video, we are going to review the third episode of Game of Thrones Season 7. So if you have not seen the episode, spoiler alert, please watch the episode and come back. And silence. Okay, you're still here. That means you have seen the episode. Alright, then let's get into it. We start with Dragonstone, where Jon has arrived. The entire opening scene is a political wrestling game. Daenerys is trying to impair the confidence of their visitors by taking away their weapons, their ships, and then having a dragon fly right above their heads. I love the way Jon and Tyrion quickly had a catch up on the events in the past seasons. The bastard of Winterfell is meeting the dwarf of Casterly Rock. The next scene is between Varys and Melisandre. In a jam-packed episode full of dramatic character deaths, gruesome callbacks, and long-awaited meetings, the most mysterious moment belonged to, of course, two of the biggest drama queens kicking around in Westeros, Melisandre of Asshai and Lord Varys the Spider. Now, Melisandre mentions that she is going back to Volantis, and it should not surprise us as this is where the Temple of the Lord of the Light is. It is the headquarters of the Red Priestess. They are all spreading the word that Daenerys is the Messiah of Essos, and I think that's where Melisandre is. And as Melisandre is headed back to Volantis, we might as well see the return of Kinvara, the other Red Priestess that we have seen in the previous seasons of Game of Thrones. In King's Landing, crowds in the streets cheer for Euron Greyjoy on horseback. And why do they do that? Because he has got three prisoners: Yara Greyjoy, we have Elyria Sand, as well as another sand snake. People of Westeros really like throwing garbage at women. Now, because we have seen this during the shame walk of Cersei as well, and same thing was repeated in this episode. Euron knows that he has made a good start, and he is being a total dick about it. But as we know, Euron Greyjoy is a complete psychopath. So this victory making him crazy and hard, I'm really not surprised. Then we have Cersei wearing a lipstick for the first time. I was really surprised by her makeup, especially the lipstick. But then I remembered the way her daughter had died, and that's the Queen's justice. But I must say, in this episode, in this entire scene, the real winner was Indira Varma. She has done a phenomenal acting in this episode, and I will not be surprised if she gets a nomination for her acting in this particular episode. And finally, the scene we have been waiting for so many seasons. Ice and fire are in the same scene. After nearly 63 eventful episodes in Game of Thrones, Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen finally meet in flesh in the 7th season and the 3rd episode in that. And Missandei begins for what seems like the millionth time running off Khaleesi's numerous official titles. Once she has completed portraying Daenerys as an absolute badass, Sir Davos Seaworth is tasked with introducing Jon. And all he can muster is, "This is Jon Snow," he says after a sideways glance from Jon. And after a truly unimpressed look from Dany and the other dose of side eye from Jon, Davos continues, he's king in the north. That's all. See, that's because Jon is really humble. Everything that he has achieved in the past, he does not consider that as an achievement. He is king in the north, but he didn't want to be a king in the north. He just wants to save everyone from the real enemy beyond the wall. But overall, if you look at all the scenes on Dragonstone, be it Jon talking with Daenerys, Jon talking with Tyrion, and even the scenes between Tyrion and Daenerys. The writing specifically for John has been really poor, or he has been portrayed as someone who is not able to carry himself when he is dealing with a queen. His inexperience in these political matters really shows up. So Bran finally shows up in Winterfell, and that leads to a really heartfelt reunion between Sansa and Bran. And Sansa is really emotional, has portrayed her emotions so well, beautifully acted, and all Bran can do is, "Hi Sansa. That was the dumbest way to treat your sister when you're meeting her after such a long time." But I guess the amount of knowledge that Bran has gained over the past few episodes, I think it has made him wise beyond his age, and that's why he's into this Zen mode all the time. And that's where the scene between him and Sansa under the weirwood tree, where she wants to catch up with him, know how he is doing, and all he is thinking of is that he is the three-eyed raven, and he can't really explain that to her in very easy words. I guess Sansa is still to find true happiness when it comes to her brothers. Sam has cured Jorah, and he is back to the Dragon Queen. I'm sure Jorah will be playing an important role in the wars to come. Sam is back to doing dummy work again, writing all those scrolls and books which are rotting away. Now, Tyrion is our little master storyteller. Tyrion has tried to outsmart Jaime and Cersei by playing according to his wits. Only his kin know him equally well, and we're all ahead of him every time. There was an amazing quote from Jaime in the end: "There's always wisdom in failures." Leaving the question of Grey Worm's fate, while Casterly Rock is taken, it can't be held. Also, with Euron's armada destroying their ships, there is no means to go home. So I would imagine, unless Jon Snow has the Lords of the North send men and supplies, it's all over for those massive amounts of Unsullied, isn't it? But hey, Daenerys seemed like she needed to be taken down a notch and humbled a little bit. So, what better way than realizing that as all the kingdoms fall, she needs to actually align with herself, with someone who has won and fought in more than a battle, but a war. And that's Mr. Jon Snow. Diana Rigg brought the house down as she continued to remind everyone that she was the boss, literally up until her dying breath. That revelation was a spat on Jamie's face with equal parts glee and rage. And not to forget sophistication. As much as we have enjoyed Jamie's season long redemption arc, it's hard to root for him when he's standing opposite to Queen of Thorns. Her road to vengeance was so decisively executed, it made the trick that Jamie pulled out of the hat earlier with Casterly Rock and Highgarden ambush that seemed like child's play. You see, the Queen of Thorns was the only character who was able to win her own death scene. I'm surely going to miss her in the coming episodes. With that, with that we come to the end of this review. With that we come to the end of this review episode. Please click on subscribe for more videos, and see you in the next one. Vela Mogulis.